Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are making amazing spaghetti with delicious chicken balls. I hope you like this recipe and thank you so much for clicking. Now let's get into it. So guys, I start by preparing my chicken and I'm just going to add the following spices to it. Use whatever spices you like and whatever you prefer. Just add the spices to the chicken. And in my case, I was using a blender because I prefer to blend the mixture. But before then, I added like 1 tablespoon of tomato sauce, and you're going to need a slice of bread, or you can just use like a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. And you're going to blend, and it's going to be somewhat looking like this. But you do not have to blend if you do not have a blender. Use a spatula or even a mwiko to mix all those ingredients. And just going in with my hands to confirm that everything has come together nicely and that the bread pieces have been absorbed into the mixture. If you'd like to make equal pieces of chicken balls, you can use a tablespoon just to measure and to just level, then use that to make a ball. But if you find that too hectic, you can just go in with your hands and approximate to make such balls. And I did that to all the mixture, and this is what I got. So be sure to add the balls to a pan that has a small amount of oil, and then we're just going to shallow fry the balls like you see here. But the purpose is not to fully cook them, just to make sure that they turn brown on both sides. So once the first side has cooked, turn to the other side and cook. Not cooking has browned, then start turning to the other side just to make sure that both sides have browned, just to ensure that they do not break when making later on. And now moving on, you're just going to take all those balls, put them on a plate or just on a container, and then you're going to use that oil later on like you are going to see on the video. And like you can see, they are looking nice, but they are not even cooked. And I forgot to mention, when I was making the balls, I was boiling my spaghetti as well. And when my spaghetti were ready, just set them aside. And I used that same spaghetti water to blanch my tomatoes. So just add the tomatoes that you're going to use, and you're going to boil them for roughly 2 minutes. And after you see that the skin is starting to peel off, you're going now to remove them like you see on a sieve. And blanching simply means removing those covers from the tomatoes, the coating I mean. So after this point, now you're going just to pour cold water onto the tomatoes, and it will be so easy to peel the tomatoes at this point. So I'm going to show you, this is how you're going to peel the tomatoes. And after peeling the tomatoes, you're just going to roughly chop them and ready for the next step. So instead of blending the tomatoes, sometimes you can just opt to blanch them, and especially if you're using them to make spaghetti or any pasta. And after that, using that same oil that we fried the balls in, you're going to add enough onion, and you are going to cook the onion until it starts to become translucent. And at that point, now that is where you add your garlic, and I added 5 cloves of garlic. You can use more or less depending on what you like and what you prefer. You can also use a ginger garlic paste at this point. And then I added my spices. I only used those chicken cubes and oregano, because remember, the chicken balls that we have already made are already spiced. At this point also, you can add some salt to taste. Just keep checking to ensure that the salt is enough to your liking. And you're going to allow this mixture to cook until the garlic is fully cooked and now ready for the next step. Now this is where you add the tomatoes. Like you can see, I have just roughly cut them, and you're just going to add them in there, give it a mix, and allow the mixture to come together with the tomatoes. And you're just going to allow it to cook on low flame, and just add a small amount of water before covering the tomatoes and leaving them to cook. And after the tomatoes have cooked like this, you can see they are looking nice. Now take your chicken balls and add them into the mixture of the tomatoes, and you're going to mix this gently, careful not to break the balls, ensuring that the tomatoes cover the balls well. And this was like cooking. After 5 minutes of cooking the balls, the tomatoes, just checking to be sure that they are cooking nicely and to ensure that the tomatoes have covered the balls well. And this is now after the balls have been cooked for 15 minutes. Add the boiled spaghetti and then give it a good mix like you see, and your meal will be ready. So simple, you guys. I hope you liked this one, and if you did, kindly like this video, share with a friend, and bye bye.